You buy a new house and find a large, pleated paper object left in the garage or basement. It is in a cardboard frame, about 20 inches by 20 inches and a few inches thick. It looks like a giant, flat accordion. It is dusty. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a disposable air filter for a furnace or central air conditioning (HVAC) system. Its job is to trap dust, pollen, and pet dander from the air before it gets circulated through your house and into your lungs, and before it clogs the expensive machinery. Homeowners are supposed to change these filters every 1 to 3 months. The previous owner likely left a spare behind or forgot to throw out the old one when they replaced it. You are given a small object as a promotional gift or a stocking stuffer. It is made of plastic or metal and has a simple, angled shape. It might look like a small easel or a bent piece of a credit card. It sits on your desk, but doesn't seem to hold papers well. It has a lip at the bottom. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a portable cell phone stand. It is designed to hold your smartphone at a comfortable viewing angle for watching videos or making video calls without having to hold it. They are incredibly common corporate giveaways because they are cheap to manufacture and useful. The lip at the bottom prevents the phone from sliding off. While it looks like a piece of abstract desk art or a useless wedge, it's a simple tool to keep your hands free. You find a flat strip of silicone in your grandma's car. It is about 5 inches long and has several round nubs or buttons along its length. It looks like a weird watch strap or a cable tie. It's flexible. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a mask extender or ear saver. During the COVID-19 pandemic, wearing a face mask for hours at a time caused pain and irritation behind the ears. This strap goes behind the head, and the mask loops hook onto the nubs instead of your ears. This relieves the pressure and allows for a more adjustable fit. Finding one in a car is a common remnant of the pandemic era, likely kept there for grocery trips. You are walking under a bridge or near a warehouse and see a box mounted on a beam. It has a rotating element or flashing lights. It makes no noise that you can hear, but it looks like a camera or a sensor. It spins constantly. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an electronic bird repellent, likely a Bird X unit. It uses a combination of ultrasonic sounds, which humans can't hear but birds hate, and visual deterrents like rotating lasers or strobes to keep pigeons and swallows from roosting and pooping on the structure. The rotating box might be a laser scanner that sweeps the area to startle birds. It's a non-lethal way to keep infrastructure clean. You look up at the sky and see something that breaks your brain. There is a white contrail from a jet, but running parallel to it is a dark black line that looks like a shadow cast on the sky itself. How can there be a shadow on the air? It looks like a glitch in the matrix. Does anyone know what this could be? This is exactly what it looks like, a contrail shadow. It is an atmospheric optical illusion. When a plane flies above a thin layer of haze or cirrus clouds, its dense white contrail blocks the sunlight. This casts a long, dark shadow downwards onto the cloud layer below. From your perspective on the ground, looking up through both layers, the dark shadow line appears to be right next to the white contrail, creating this striking, impossible-looking stripe in the sky. You find a weird-looking Lego figure in a box of old toys. It has a square head and feet, but the proportions are wrong compared to a normal minifigure. It looks slightly larger and clunkier. It has a logo on it. It feels like a knockoff. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a McDonald's Happy Meal Lego toy, specifically from a promotion in 2008, like the Batman or Racer series. Unlike genuine Lego minifigures, which disassemble into head, torso, and legs, these were often solid, single-molded pieces, or had limited articulation to prevent choking hazards and reduce cost. They are compatible with Lego bricks. You can stick them on a plate, but they look off because they were mass-produced for fast food meals, not by Lego's main factory. You are in a hotel room and see a small black plastic bud stuck to the bottom of the TV. It has a wire running behind the set. It looks like a camera or a listening device. You are paranoid about being watched. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an infrared IR sensor extender, or IRI. Hotels often hide the actual cable box or media player behind the TV or in a cabinet to keep the room looking tidy and to prevent theft. However, the remote control needs line of sight to work. This little sensor picks up the signal from your remote and sends it through the wire to the hidden box. It's not watching you, it's just helping you change the channel. You find a clear acrylic cube at a thrift store. Inside, there are 3 separate chambers, each partially filled with a different colored, viscous liquid. It looks like an hourglass that doesn't work. When you tilt it, the liquid oozes slowly. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a kinetic sculpture cube by the artist James Ossie. These were popular decorative objects in the 1970s and 80s. The cube contains thick, immiscible silicone oils of different colors and densities. When you turn the cube, the liquids flow slowly past each other, creating ever-changing, mesmerizing, abstract patterns. It's not a timer. It's a piece of interactive art designed to be a calming desk toy for the modern office. You find a small, heavy cast-iron pot at an estate sale. It has a removable insert with slots and a drain on the side. It looks like a bean pot or a small cauldron. It has handles. It feels incredibly sturdy. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a small, portable cast-iron charcoal grill, often a Japanese-style hibachi or a similar barbecue. The slotted insert is the charcoal grate, which holds the hot coals and allows ash to fall to the bottom. The drain on the side is an air vent, draft door, that you slide open or closed to control the temperature of the fire. You would place a cooking grate on top to grill skewers or small pieces of meat. It's a durable, compact grill, perfect for picnics or small patios. You walk out to your backyard on a freezing morning and look at the bird bath or a bucket of water. Growing straight up out of the ice is a thin, sharp spike, looking like an inverted icicle. It defies gravity. How did water freeze upwards? Does anyone know what this could be? This is an ice spike. It occurs when the surface of the water freezes over, leaving a small hole unfrozen. As the water below continues to freeze, it expands. This pressure forces the remaining liquid water up through the hole, like lava erupting from a volcano. The outer edges of this lava freeze instantly, forming a tube. The water keeps being pushed up the tube until it all freezes, creating a delicate spire that can grow several inches tall. You find a metal tool in a kitchen drawer. It has a handle and a weird adjustable clamp with teeth on the end. It looks like a torture device for fingers or a mechanic's tool. It says, "Made in West Germany." It doesn't look like a can opener. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a vintage jar and bottle opener, often the Undrix, or a similar German design. The adjustable toothed clamp is designed to grip the lid of a stubborn jar. As you squeeze the handle, the teeth bite into the metal lid, and the long handle gives you massive leverage to twist it off with ease. It's a brilliant piece of engineering for anyone who struggles with vacuum-sealed pickle jars. You move into a new house and find plastic discs in a kitchen drawer. They have handles on the back and raised designs on the front, like a Christmas tree or Santa. They aren't open like cookie cutters. If you press them into dough, the dough would get stuck. How do you use them? Does anyone know what this could be? These are cookie stamps, or cookie presses. Unlike cutters, which cut the outline of a shape, these are meant to impress a design onto a ball of dough. They are typically used for shortbread, gingerbread, or peanut butter cookies, doughs that don't rise much. The trick to preventing sticking is to chill the dough thoroughly and dip the stamp in flour or sugar before each press. They create beautiful, embossed cookies that look professional with minimal effort. You find a coin-like object on a plane or in a pocket. It is silver-colored and has a distinct groove or indent on both sides. It has no face value or country name. It makes a nice pling sound. It looks like a washer, but is solid in the middle. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a generic arcade token, car wash token, or parking token. The specific grooves or ridges on the face are designed to fit into the mechanical coin acceptor of a specific machine, preventing people from using slugs or foreign currency. Since they have no cash value outside the arcade or facility, they often end up lost in pockets and travel the world as confusing metal discs. You find a set of 4 vintage glass objects. They look like giant marbles or cat eyes, encased in a metal frame. They are heavy and industrial. They reflect light brilliantly. They look like traffic signals, but they don't have bulbs inside. Does anyone know what this could be? These are vintage railroad switch stand reflectors, likely made by Libby Glass. Before electric lights were run to every switch on the tracks, railroads used these passive reflectors to signal train engineers at night. The headlights of the locomotive would hit the cat's eye glass, reflecting a specific color, red or green, to indicate if the switch was open or closed. They are heavy-duty safety devices built to survive decades of weather and vibration on the tracks. Your dog has a favorite toy that is getting old and torn apart. It is a plush lamb made by the brand Scruffles. You want to buy a new one, but you can't find the exact model anywhere. It has a specific shape and texture that your dog loves. Does anyone know where to find this? This is the classic challenge of the pet toy market. The toy is a Scruffles brand plush lamb, but pet toy companies frequently discontinue specific designs and introduce new ones to keep their product lines fresh. While finding the same toy from years ago is nearly impossible, your best bet is to search eBay or other secondhand marketplaces for vintage Scruffles lamb. You might get lucky and find a new old stock toy that someone has been hoarding, allowing your pup to enjoy their favorite comfort object a little longer. You find an adjustable wooden stand at a rummage sale. It has a central post and a circular top that can be raised or lowered with a pin. The top has round, indented spots with wax residue. It looks like it could be a cobbler's tool, but it feels too delicate. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an adjustable candle stand, or a candlestick table. In the 18th and 19th centuries, before electric lighting, candles were the primary source of light. This stand allowed a person to raise or lower the light source to the perfect height for reading or sewing. The multiple indented spots on top held several candles to create a brighter light. It's a beautiful piece of functional, pre-industrial furniture. You find a brass coin with a hole in the center at an arcade in the UK. It isn't a token. It has a rice plant design on one side and Japanese characters on the other. It says 5. It looks exotic. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a Japanese 5 yen coin. Go-en. It is the only Japanese coin that does not have Roman numerals on it, which makes it hard for tourists to identify. The design features a rice stalk, representing agriculture, a gear, industry, and water, fisheries. In Japan, these coins are considered very lucky because go-en sounds like the word for fate or relationship. People often throw them into offering boxes at Shinto shrines to pray for good connections and romance. You find a beautiful boat-shaped wooden object at a thrift store. It is smooth and polished, with pointy metal tips on both ends. Inside the hollow center, there is a spindle or a bobbin that spins. It looks like a tool for a boat, or maybe a specialized sewing instrument. It feels balanced and aerodynamic. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a flying shuttle, or bobbin shuttle, from a weaving loom. It was a revolutionary invention in the textile industry. The weaver would use a picking stick to shoot this shuttle across the loom at high speed, carrying the weft thread, wound on the internal bobbin, through the warp threads to create cloth. The metal tips protected the wood from shattering as it slammed back and forth thousands of times a day. Finding one today usually means it has been retired from a factory to become a piece of rustic decor. You are at a gunsmith shop or an antique store and see a terrifying folding tool. It looks like a pocket knife, but instead of a single blade, it has multiple triangular razor-sharp blades sticking out at right angles. It looks like a tool for punching holes in leather, or something much worse. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a fleam, a veterinary and historically human bloodletting tool. In the 18th and 19th centuries, it was believed that draining excess blood could cure illness. This tool was placed over a vein, usually the jugular vein of a horse or cow, and struck with a wooden stick called a fleam stick to puncture the skin and vein quickly. The triangular shape ensured a clean cut. It is a gruesome relic of medical history that makes us all very thankful for modern antibiotics. You are setting up an artificial Christmas tree and find a small, black plastic cap at the bottom of the box. It is round and cracked. It looks like a stand, but it's tiny. You threw the box away, but kept this piece just in case. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a shipping protector cap. It is placed at the bottom of the central metal pole of the artificial tree to prevent the sharp metal from punching through the cardboard box during shipping. It is not part of the tree stand and serves no structural purpose once the tree is unpacked. It is arguably the most common mystery object found after the holidays, and it belongs in the trash. You are restoring an antique desk from the early 1900s. Inside the drawers, there is a wooden divider that moves. It can be pulled forward or pushed back to squeeze the contents. It looks like a built-in bookend. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a compressor, or a following block, commonly found in vintage filing cabinets and office desks. Its purpose is to keep files, envelopes, or papers standing upright even when the drawer isn't full. As you add more files, you slide the compressor back. It prevents your important documents from slumping over and curling at the bottom of the drawer. It's a standard feature of high-quality turn-of-the-century office furniture. You are in an old cemetery in New England or the Midwest and see a small stone building built into a hill. It has heavy iron doors and no windows. It looks like a crypt, but it's empty or used for storage now. It isn't a family mausoleum. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a receiving tomb, or winter vault dead house. Before the invention of mechanical backhoes, digging a grave in frozen ground during the winter was impossible. When people died in January or February, their coffins were stored in this cool, secure underground room until the spring thaw allowed the gravediggers to work the earth again. They are a grim but practical reminder of the limitations of manual labor in the 19th century. You find a drinking horn or a carved object at a yard sale. It has a tag with Cyrillic, Russian, writing on it. It mentions artistic combine and deer antler. It looks like a souvenir from the Soviet era. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a product of a Soviet-era artistic combine, a state-run craft factory, likely from a region like Chukotka or the Russian north, where reindeer herding is common. The tag identifies it as a decorative item made from reindeer antler. These combined produced folk art souvenirs, carvings, knives, and drinking vessels for export and domestic sale. It's a piece of mass-produced folk art from the USSR, dating back to the late 1980s. You find a small paper packet on the floor of a London tube station. It has LND printed on it and perforated holes. It looks like a sugar packet or a desiccant. It smells faintly chemical. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a clothes moth killer sachet, often containing transfluthrin or lavender oil. The LND likely refers to a brand or a batch code. People hang these in their wardrobes or put them in drawers to protect wool clothing from moth larvae. It likely fell out of someone's shopping bag or pocket during their commute. The end indicator on some versions tells you when the active chemical has evaporated and it's time to replace it. You buy an old Swiss Army knife or a multi-tool and find a strange tool inside. It looks like a tiny, blunt spade with a slight curve. It isn't sharp enough to be a blade or flat enough to be a screwdriver. It seems useless. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a cuticle pusher. It is a manicure tool designed to gently push back the skin, cuticle, from the base of your fingernails. Before applying nail polish, or just for a neat appearance, you use this blunt tool to create a clean line. While it seems like an incredibly random tool to include on a pocket knife, many vintage multi-tools from brands like Wenger and Victorinox were marketed as gentlemen's accessories and included grooming tools alongside the standard knife and can opener. You are walking on a beach in Goa, India, and find a flat, round bone. It is hard and porous. It looks like the top of a vertebra. It is too big to be human. It looks like a fossilized sand dollar, but it's bone. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an epiphyseal disc from the vertebra of a marine mammal, likely a dolphin or a small whale. In young mammals, the main body of the vertebra, the centrum, is separated from these end caps by a layer of cartilage, which allows the spine to grow. When the animal reaches adulthood, these discs fuse to the bone. If a young whale or dolphin dies, these cookies can detach during decomposition and wash up on shore, looking like mysterious bone coins. You find a set of cards with strange symbols and text. They don't look like playing cards. The art style is fantasy-based. You use Google Lens, and it links to a game manual. Does anyone know what this could be? These are likely components from a tabletop board game or a role-playing game. The text, "Cursed Goblins," suggests a fantasy theme. The cards probably represent spells, character abilities, or event cards that players draw during the game. Without the board and the other pieces, the cards on their own are just a cryptic piece of a larger forgotten adventure. You are handed a pen at a restaurant to sign the bill. You notice the pen has a weird hinge or a clip on the side that makes it bend at an angle. It looks broken or poorly designed. It doesn't lock in place. What is the point of the hinge? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a multifunction phone holder pen. The seemingly useless hinge is actually the stand. You bend the pen at the hinge, and the clip on the side acts as a base. You can then rest your smartphone horizontally in the V shape created by the bend. It's a cheap, clever promotional item that combines a writing instrument with a hands-free phone stand for watching videos. You find an old power supply labeled Australian Pokerwork. It has a variable output dial and a clip for holding a tool. It looks like it's for a soldering iron, but the name is strange. What is pokerwork? Does anyone know what this could be? Pokerwork is another name for pyrography, the art of wood burning. This power supply is for an electric pyrography pen. The variable dial controls the temperature of the pen's tip, allowing the artist to create different shades and burn depths. The Australian pokerwork style specifically refers to a trend in the early 20th century of decorating wooden objects with designs inspired by Australian flora, fauna, and Aboriginal art. You have the power source, but the actual burning tool is missing. You are visiting a house in Seattle and notice a 5-inch hole in the wall near the floor. It looks like a vent, but there is a slight breeze coming in. It isn't an HVAC return. It's just a clean-cut hole in the drywall. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an inlet for a central vacuum system. In homes with this feature, a large, powerful vacuum unit is permanently installed in the garage or basement. Pipes run through the walls to these inlets in every room. To vacuum, you simply plug a long, lightweight hose into this port. The suction starts automatically, and all the dirt is piped directly to the main unit, so you don't have to lug a heavy vacuum cleaner around the house. You buy a sword at a thrift store for $35. It has an ornate handle with crosses, a knight's head pommel, and a metal scabbard. The blade might have an inscription with a name and a year like 1969. It looks like a prop from a medieval movie, but it feels real. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a ceremonial sword for a fraternal organization, most likely the Knights Templar, a branch of the Freemasons, Masons. These swords are not weapons for combat. They are part of the regalia worn during formal meetings, parades, and rituals. The intricate symbols on the hilt and scabbard represent allegorical lessons and the history of the order. The name engraved on the blade is that of the member to whom the sword belonged. It's a piece of American fraternal history. Your dad gives you a pair of old leather work gloves. They are incredibly durable. You want to buy a new pair, but the brand name is worn off. The only thing left is a logo that looks like a steer's head or a bull's. It is a simple, stylized line drawing. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the vintage logo for Wells Lamont, a classic American work glove company. Founded in 1907, they are famous for their tough leather gloves used by farmers, ranchers, and construction workers. The steer's head logo was a symbol of their durability and connection to the American West. While their modern logo is different, this classic mark is a sign that you have a pair of high-quality, old-school work gloves that were built to last. You find a heavy wooden box in your grandmother's house. Inside, it has 6 deep, round compartments carved out of solid wood. They don't come out. It looks like it could be a spice box or a display case for eggs. It was used to store buttons. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a vintage sewing and notion box, sometimes specifically called a button box. or a mending box. The deep, cup-like compartments were designed to keep different sewing supplies neatly separated. One for buttons, one for thimbles, one for spools of darning thread, and so on. The heavy wooden construction kept it stable on a lap or a table while mending. Using it to store buttons was exactly what it was designed for. You are driving on Highway 101 in California and see a rusted metal bell hanging from a shepherd's crook staff on the side of the road. It looks like an old mission bell. They appear periodically along the highway. Is it a religious marker? Does anyone know what this could be? This is an El Camino Real, the Royal Road, bell marker. These bells mark the historic 600-mile route connecting the 21 Spanish missions established in California between 1769 and 1823. The bells were first installed in 1906 to promote tourism and commemorate the state's history. While iconic, they have recently become controversial symbols of the colonial era. But for most drivers, they are simply familiar mileposts on the Golden State's most famous highway. You find a bag of small plastic pieces. They look like black screws or bolts, but the heads are smooth and rounded, or shaped like triangular animal noses. They come with plastic washers. They don't have threads like a normal screw. Does anyone know what this could be? These are safety eyes and safety noses for crafting. They are used when making stuffed animals, amigurumi, crocheted dolls, or puppets. You push the stem of the eye through the fabric and then snap the plastic washer onto the back, inside the doll, to lock it in place. They are called safety eyes because they are much harder for a child to pull off and swallow than sewn-on buttons, though they are still not recommended for babies. You hear a helicopter flying low overhead. You look up and see it is towing a massive, hexagonal frame beneath it on a long cable. It looks like a giant spider web or a geometric gate. It's flying in grid patterns. Is it hunting for something? Does anyone know what this could be? This is an airborne geophysical survey system, likely a time-domain electromagnetic (TDEM) system. The hexagon is a giant transmitter loop. It pulses electromagnetic waves into the ground, which induce currents in the earth below. The helicopter measures the response to map what is underground. It is used to find groundwater aquifers, mineral deposits, or unexploded ordnance without digging. It's essentially an MRI scanner for the Earth's crust. You find a clear acrylic bowl at a thrift store. It has a double wall. Inside the gap between the walls, there is dry pasta, beans, or fake chocolate. It looks impossible to clean. Why would someone trap food inside a bowl? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a fill-a bowl, or a similar craft bowl. These were popular in the 90s and early 2000s. The bottom of the bowl has a removable plug or a seal. The idea was that you could fill the hollow walls with seasonal decorations, candy corn for Halloween, holly for Christmas, or pasta for an Italian dinner theme, to create a custom centerpiece. The one you found was likely filled by a previous owner who sealed it shut and donated it, leaving their pasta frozen in time. You are doing a jigsaw puzzle of woodland animals. You see a creature that looks like a ferret or a weasel, but it has a bushy tail, prominent ears, and a creamy yellow bib on its throat. It's climbing a tree. It's not a cat or a fox. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a pine marten, Marten marts. They are members of the mustelid family, related to weasels and otters, but they are adapted for life in the trees. They are elusive predators found in the forests of Europe and North America. Their defining feature is that creamy yellow bib, or throat patch, which distinguishes them from their darker cousins like the fisher or the mink. They are cute, but fierce hunters of squirrels. You are staying at a hotel and flipping through the TV channels. You find a channel that shows a static view of a room with a dog in it, or maybe just a logo. It has no sound. It seems like a surveillance feed. Is this creepy? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a dedicated pet cam channel. Some pet-friendly hotels offer a service where you can leave your dog in the room or at the hotel's kennel while you go out. They provide a live camera feed so you can tune in on your phone or another TV in the hotel to check on your pooch and make sure they aren't barking or destroying the furniture. It's peace of mind for traveling pet owners. You are hiking along the Feather River in California and see a massive metal contraption floating in the water. It consists of two pontoons supporting a large, rotating mesh cone. The current spins the cone like a turbine. It looks like a piece of mining equipment or a water wheel generator. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a rotary screw trap, RST. It is a scientific instrument used by fisheries biologists to monitor fish populations, specifically juvenile salmon and trout migrating downstream. As the river current spins the internal screw, the mesh cone, it gently traps small fish and funnels them into a holding box, live well, at the back. Biologists check the trap daily to count, measure, and tag the fish before releasing them, allowing them to estimate the health of the river's ecosystem without harming the wildlife. You are driving through northern Arizona and scanning the radio dial. You land on a station that is playing nothing but a constant, piercing beep. It never stops. There is no DJ, no music, just a relentless tone. Is it a distress signal? A number station? It feels eerie driving through the desert listening to it. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a 500 Hz test tone, likely broadcasting from a station like 107.9 KCYE, or a repeater. Radio stations broadcast these continuous tones during maintenance periods, transmitter testing, or when a station is technically on air, but between programming formats. It allows engineers to calibrate signal strength and modulation levels. While it sounds like an emergency alert or a spooky signal from space, it is just the boring sound of a radio engineer doing their job. A relative gives you a gold coin. It looks old and heavy. It says peso and has an eagle on it. You think you struck it rich with a rare Mexican gold coin. But then you notice the word restrike stamped on it in tiny letters. What does that mean? Is it fake? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a souvenir restrike, or replica, of the famous 1865 or 1866 Maximilian gold peso. These were mass-produced in the mid-20th century, often as wedding tokens, arres, used in Catholic wedding ceremonies, or simply as tourist souvenirs. While they are often plated in real gold, the core is usually brass or copper, making them worth very little compared to the solid gold original. The word restrike is the polite numismatic way of saying copy. You are in an antique store and see a terrifying metal chair. Attached to the back is a giant chrome dome on an articulating arm. It looks like a brainwashing device or an electric chair from a sci-fi movie. It has vents and wires. It looks like it belongs in a torture chamber. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a vintage salon hairdryer, likely from the 1930s or 40s. Before handheld blow dryers existed, women would sit under these massive hoods for hours to set their curls. The hot air circulated inside the chrome dome to dry the hair evenly. While they look intimidating and industrial by modern standards, they were the height of luxury and technology in the beauty parlors of the mid-20th century. Many are now repurposed as retro floor lamps. You find a plant in your garden growing strange, paper-like lanterns. They hang from the stems. Inside the papery husk, there is a small, round, yellow or orange fruit that looks like a tomato. It looks like a tomatillo, but smaller and sweeter. Is it a weed? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a ground cherry, genus Physalis, also known as a Cape gooseberry or husk tomato. They are related to tomatillos and tomatoes. The papery husk, calyx, protects the fruit as it develops. When ripe, the fruit falls to the ground, hence the name. They are edible and delicious, with a sweet tropical flavor often described as a mix of pineapple and tomato. They are a common volunteer plant in gardens, spread by birds. You are walking on the beach and find a piece of driftwood, or a rock, covered in strange, white, jagged clusters. They look like tiny volcanoes or teeth. They are hard and sharp. They look like rocks, but they seem to grow on things. Does anyone know what this could be? These are barnacles. They are not mollusks, like clams, but are actually crustaceans, related to crabs and lobsters. They start life as free-swimming larvae before gluing themselves headfirst to a hard surface. They build a hard calcium carbonate shell around their bodies for protection. When the tide comes in, they open the crater at the top and wave their feathery legs. cirri, to catch plankton. They are the bane of boat owners, but a fascinating part of marine biology. You open your dishwasher and find a gray plastic piece lying in the top rack. It looks like a spinner or a fan blade. It has a hole in the center. It doesn't look like it snapped off anything obvious. It just appeared there. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the shower roof spinning top, or the upper wash arm bearing for a Bosch or Thermador dishwasher. It clips onto the ceiling of the dishwasher tub. Its job is to distribute water from the top down onto the dishes. Over time, the plastic clips wear out from the heat, and it falls off. Without it, the water just shoots straight down in a single stream instead of spraying the whole rack, leaving your top shelf dirty. You stay at a nice hotel like the Grand Floridian and love the robe. It isn't just a towel, it has a waffle weave or a flat cotton shell on the outside and soft terry cloth lining on the inside. You want to buy one, but you don't know what this specific style is called. Does anyone know what this could be? This style is specifically known as a dual layer or microfiber-lined bathrobe. The outer shell is often a microfiber or cotton waffle weave, which looks crisp and premium and doesn't snag easily. The inner lining is plush terry cloth or chamois for absorbency and comfort against the skin. This construction offers the best of both worlds, the lightness and look of a spa robe with the coziness of a heavy towel robe. You are at the gym and see a piece of equipment that looks like a padded frame on the floor. It has a headrest and rails. It looks like a rocking chair for a baby, but huge. People lie on it and rock back and forth. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an ab rocker or crunch bench. It is designed to assist with abdominal crunches. You rest your head on the pad and grab the overhead bar. The frame guides your movement, ensuring you curl your torso correctly while supporting your neck and head to prevent strain. It's a piece of equipment often mocked by hardcore lifters, but very popular for beginners wanting to work their core without neck pain. You find a strange silver spoon while polishing cutlery. It has a spade-shaped bowl with a flat edge and weird dents or notches on the sides. It looks too small for soup and too sharp for sugar. It looks like a specialized serving tool. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a jelly spoon or jam spoon. The spade-like shape and flat edge are designed to cut into a semi-solid block of fruit jelly or stiff marmalade. The notches on the side allow the jelly to break suction and slide off the spoon easily onto your toast, rather than sticking to the bowl like it would with a round spoon. It's a refined tool for a proper breakfast table. You are in a public restroom, perhaps at a church or a mall, and see small paper bags sitting in a dispenser or on a shelf. Sometimes there is a small metal bin mounted on the wall of the stall. It isn't a trash can for paper towels. It seems specific to the stall. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a sanitary disposal bin, or hygiene bin. The paper bags are wax-lined disposal bags. They are provided for the discreet and hygienic disposal of used menstrual products like pads and tampons. Flushing these items can cause massive plumbing clogs, so facilities provide these bins and bags to encourage people to throw them away instead. It is a piece of essential, often overlooked, sanitation infrastructure designed to keep the plumbing running smoothly. You move into an old house and find a strange socket on the baseboard. It has 4 holes arranged in a square or a trapezoid. It isn't a modern electrical outlet, and it isn't a standard phone jack. It looks like a plug for a heavy appliance. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a 4-prong telephone jack, specifically a Western Electric 404A. Before the modern modular clip jacks, RJ11, were introduced in the 1970s, this was the standard connection for landline phones in the US. You would plug a heavy square connector into this block to connect your rotary phone to the wall. Finding one today is a sure sign that the house hasn't had its low-voltage wiring updated in about 50 years. You find a pair of gray rubber tubes in a garage. They are open on both ends and have a slit running down the length. They are textured for grip. They look like bicycle handlebar grips, but the slit makes them fall off. They are about 4 inches long. Does anyone know what this could be? These are replacement hand grips for underarm crutches. The standard foam or rubber grips on hospital crutches wear out quickly or get sticky. These replacements are designed to wrap around the hand rest. The slit allows you to snap them over the core, and they usually rely on friction or a tight fit to stay in place. Without the crutches, they look like useless, split pieces of rubber hose. You are walking on a beach in Hawaii or California and find a piece of red fabric tube washed up on the sand. It feels incredibly tough, like canvas or fire hose material. It has frayed ends. It looks like industrial waste, but it's brightly colored. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a dog toy made from recycled fire hose. Brands like Outward Hound make these invincible toys because real fire hose material is designed to withstand high pressure and abrasion, making it perfect for dogs who destroy normal plush toys. This one likely got thrown into the ocean during a game of fetch, drifted away on the tide, and eventually washed up at your feet, looking like a piece of a shipwreck. Your friend sends you a picture of a wild turkey they named Gerald. It is a large bird walking through the grass. However, looking closely, it lacks the long beard of feathers on its chest, and the fleshy red wattle is small. Is Gerald actually a Geraldine? Does anyone know what this could be? Sorry to break it to Gerald, but that is a female wild turkey, a hen. While male turkeys, toms, are famous for their long beards, iridescent feathers, and large spurs on their legs, hens are smaller, duller, for camouflage while nesting, and usually lack the beard and spurs. The rusty brown tips on the breast feathers are another giveaway. So, despite the name, this turkey is definitely a lady. You hear a loud, rhythmic screeching or grinding noise coming from a vent or a machine in your house. It sounds like metal on metal. It isn't a rattle, it's a high-pitched scream. It happens when the heat or AC turns on. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the sound of a failing bearing in your HVAC blower motor or an exhaust fan. The metal ball bearings that allow the fan to spin smoothly have lost their lubrication, oil, or grease. As the metal heats up and grinds together, it creates that piercing screech. It is a warning sign. If you don't oil the bearing or replace the motor soon, the fan will seize up completely, potentially burning out the motor or causing a fire. You see someone on a plane filling in a grid on a piece of paper. The grid has numbers along the top and side like 3, 1, 2. They are coloring in squares to make a pixelated picture. It looks like Sudoku U, but with pictures. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a logic puzzle called a nonogram, also known as Hanji, Picross, or Gridlers. The numbers tell you how many consecutive black squares are in that row or column. By using pure logic to cross-reference the rows and columns, you slowly reveal a hidden image, pixel by pixel. It originated in Japan in the late 1980s and is a popular, addictive brain teaser for people who love logic but want a creative payoff. You find a small glass and metal cylinder next to your car door. It has threads on the bottom and little holes in the metal base. It is sticky and smells sweet. It looks like a car part or a fuse. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a broken or discarded 510 thread vape cartridge. It is the part of a vape pen that holds the oil, nicotine or THC. The threads screw into the battery. The little holes at the bottom are airflow intakes. When they get clogged or empty, people often toss them out car windows, where they shatter or get crushed. The sticky residue is the remaining oil leaking out. It's essentially the cigarette butt of the 21st century. You work in a restaurant or hospital and use those gray plastic utility carts. You notice there are holes molded into the handles and the rim of the shelves. They collect dirt and seem useless. Why put holes in a perfectly good cart? Does anyone know what this could be? These holes are attachment points for accessories. The manufacturers of these carts, like Rubbermaid or Uline, design them to be modular. You can buy specific trash bins, silverware boxes, or tool caddies that have hooks designed to slot perfectly into these holes. This allows a janitor or a busboy to customize the cart for their specific job. Without the accessories, the holes just look like random dirt-collecting gaps. You find a small, curved metal plate behind your kitchen door. It has a screw hole. It looks like a piece of trim. You check the door handle, but it's fine. Where did this come from? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a cover plate, or a flange, from a European-style cabinet hinge, like those made by Blum or IKEA. These hinges have adjustment screws to align the cabinet doors. To hide the ugly screws, a small metal cap snaps or screws over the mechanism. Over time, the repeated banging of the cabinet door can rattle the screw loose, causing this decorative cover to fall off. Check your cupboards. One of them is showing its mechanical guts. Your favorite necklace breaks. The chain is fine, and the charm is fine, but the little loop that connects them has snapped. You want to buy a replacement online, but you don't know what to search for. It's not a jump ring. Does anyone know what this could be? This specific connector is called a bail, or pendant bail. Unlike a simple jump ring, which is just a circle of wire, a bail is often teardrop-shaped and decorative. It attaches to the pendant and provides a wide, smooth opening for the chain to slide through, so the pendant hangs flat against your chest. Knowing the word bail unlocks thousands of replacement options at any jewelry supply store. You are at an airfield in Germany and see two vintage planes. One is a massive blue biplane that looks like a flying tractor. The other is a sleek red monoplane with a radial engine. They look like they are from Jo2. Does anyone know what these are? The big blue biplane is an Antonov An-2, nicknamed Anushka or Colt. It is a legendary Soviet utility plane known for being able to take off from incredibly short, rough fields. It can practically hover in a headwind. The red plane is a North American T-6 Texan, or Harvard. It was the advanced trainer aircraft used to teach nearly all Allied pilots how to fly fighters during World War II. Seeing them together is a treat for any aviation history buff. You are at a market and buy a green egg-shaped fruit. The seller told you the name, but you forgot. It smells like perfume. Inside, it has a jelly-like center and gritty flesh near the skin. It tastes like pineapple and mint. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a feijoa, Aca celowiana, also known as a pineapple guava, or guavastine. Native to South America, they are incredibly popular in New Zealand. The texture is unique, gritty like a pear near the skin, but smooth jelly in the middle. The best way to eat it is to cut it in half and scoop out the inside with a spoon. The flower petals of the tree are also edible and taste like cotton candy. You thrift a cool pair of jeans or a jacket with a leather-looking patch on the back. After you wash and dry it a few times, the patch starts to crack, flake, and fall apart into a million tiny pieces. The rest of the jeans are fine. Why did the leather disintegrate? Does anyone know what this could be? The patch was made of faux leather, specifically a polyurethane, PU, or PVC layer, bonded to a fabric backing. While it looks like real leather, it is essentially plastic. The high heat of a clothes dryer is its mortal enemy. The heat breaks down the plasticizers, making the material brittle, and delaminates it from the fabric base, causing it to flake and peel. Real leather would get stiff, but it wouldn't disintegrate like this. It's a classic sign of vegan leather meeting a hot tumble-dry cycle. You are carving a Thanksgiving turkey and find a weird plastic object sticking out of the breast. It looks like a button with two prongs that were embedded in the meat. The center might be red. It looks like a piece of the packaging that was accidentally left in. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a pop-up turkey timer. It is a simple, single-use thermometer. The two prongs are held together by a soft, food-grade alloy that is formulated to melt at a specific temperature, usually around 180 degrees Fahrenheit or 82 degrees Celsius. When the turkey's internal temperature reaches this point, the metal melts, releasing a spring-loaded red indicator that pops up, telling you the bird is cooked to a safe temperature and ready to eat. You find a small, ornate tower or building. It has minarets and domes. It looks like a souvenir replica of a famous mosque or a temple. It might be made of plaster or resin. It was found in a box of old travel mementos. Does anyone know what this could be? This is likely a miniature replica of a famous Islamic landmark, such as the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul or the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi. These detailed models are popular souvenirs sold in tourist shops and airport gift stores throughout the Middle East and other Muslim-majority regions. They serve as a memento of a trip or a pilgrimage. Without a specific label, it can be hard to identify the exact building. but the architectural style is a clear homage to Islamic design. You are opening an old Christmas wrapping set from the 80s or 90s. Inside, you find a weird flat strip of ribbon. It looks like two wide ribbons, with two thinner ribbons sandwiched between them. It seems sealed together. If you pull it apart, it will rip. How are you supposed to use this? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a pull bow. It is a clever, flat-packed bow that magically assembles itself. You hold the two wide outer ribbons with one hand and pull the two thin inner ribbons with the other. As you pull, the wide ribbon gathers up into a perfect, fluffy pom-pom bow right before your eyes. They were invented to make gift wrapping faster and easier, and they still feel like a magic trick every time you use one. You see a dog sweater with a picture of an animal on it. It looks like a bear, but the snout is short and the ears are small. It almost looks like a cat, but the body is stocky. You can't figure out what the artist was trying to draw. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a common case of stylistic ambiguity in mass-produced apparel. The animal is intended to be a bear, but the simplified, cartoonish art style has lost some key features. The short snout and rounded ears are hallmarks of a teddy bear aesthetic, which often blurs the lines between a real bear and a cute, generic mammal. The designers likely prioritized cuteness over anatomical accuracy, resulting in a creature that looks like a bear-cat hybrid. You are exploring an old farmhouse in rural New Zealand and find a strange metal and rubber object. It has a metal shell and a soft rubber liner inside. It looks like a suction cup for a machine. The house was built in 1893. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a teat cup and liner from a mechanical milking machine, likely a Delaval or a similar brand. This device fits over a cow's teat. A vacuum pump creates a pulsating suction in the space between the metal shell and the rubber liner, which mimics the action of a suckling calf to draw milk. This invention revolutionized the dairy industry, allowing farmers to milk cows much faster than by hand. It's a key piece of 20th century agricultural technology. You buy a new computer monitor and find 4 small metal or plastic cylinders in the box. They have threads on them. They aren't mentioned in the setup manual. They look like standoffs or spacers. Do you need them? Does anyone know what this could be? These are VESA mounting adapter studs. The back of your monitor has 4 standard screw holes, the VESA pattern, for attaching it to a wall mount or an articulating desk arm. However, if the back of your monitor is curved or has a recessed mounting area, these standoffs are needed to extend the screw holes so the flat mounting bracket can attach properly. If you are just using the desk stand that came with the monitor, you don't need them, but you should save them in case you ever want to mount it. You find a small metal instrument on your desk. It is shaped like a teardrop with a thin metal reed running through the middle. You pluck the reed, and it makes a boing sound. It looks like a lock-picking tool, but it makes music. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a jaw harp, or Jew's harp, though it has no connection to Judaism. It is one of the oldest musical instruments in the world. You hold the frame against your teeth and pluck the metal reed with your finger. The sound resonates in your mouth, and you change the pitch by changing the shape of your mouth, similar to how you form vowel sounds when you talk. It produces a distinctive, twangy, hypnotic sound, found in folk music all over the globe. You are eating a slice of salami or pepperoni and bite into something hard. It is a small, black, wrinkly sphere. It cracks when you bite it and has a sharp, spicy flavor. Is it a seed? A bug? Does anyone know what this could be? That is a whole black peppercorn. Coarsely cracked or whole peppercorns are a key ingredient in many traditional Italian cured sausages like salami. They provide a pungent, spicy kick that cuts through the richness of the meat. While most people are used to finely ground pepper, finding a whole one is a sign of an artisan-style sausage where the spices are left intentionally rustic and bold. You find a plastic baggie in your dad's room containing dried mushrooms. They have thin stems and caps that are golden brown in the center. Some of the stems have a bluish bruise on them. They smell earthy and don't taste like much. Are they for cooking? Does anyone know what this could be? These are Psilocybe cubensis, commonly known as magic mushrooms. The distinctive golden brown cap and, most tellingly, the bluish bruising on the stem are classic identifiers. The blue color is a result of the psilocybin, the psychoactive compound, oxidizing when the mushroom is handled or damaged. They are not for cooking spaghetti bolognese. Finding them in a bag suggests they were either grown or purchased for recreational use. You find a sharp metal tool on the floor of a hotel hallway. It is a few inches long with a pointy lancet on one end and a small metal loop on the other. It looks like a dental tool or something for electronics repair. It feels very sharp. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a comedone extractor, a tool used by dermatologists and estheticians or at-home enthusiasts for skin care. The sharp lancet is used to pierce the top of a whitehead or a pimple. You then place the metal loop over the blemish and press down, which forces the contents out of the pore. It's a very common tool for acne treatment and extractions. It likely fell out of someone's travel toiletry bag. You notice your dog frequently staring at a heating vent and barking or whining at it. There is nothing visible inside, just a dark hole. The dog seems agitated and obsessed. Why is he barking at the air? Does anyone know what this could be? Your dog is alerting you to the presence of an animal living in your ductwork. Small rodents, like mice or squirrels, often find their way into HVAC systems to build nests, especially in the winter. Your dog's sense of smell and hearing are far more acute than yours. He can smell the animal and hear it scratching and moving around inside the metal ducts. It's time to call a pest control expert because your dog is telling you that you are not alone in the house. You find a pill in a hotel room. It is small, shield-shaped, and has markings on it. It doesn't look like an over-the-counter pain reliever. It feels like a prescription medication. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a pill of finasteride, more commonly known by the brand names Propecia or Proscar. It is a prescription medication primarily used to treat male pattern baldness by preventing the conversion of testosterone to dihydrotestosterone, DHT. In higher doses, it is also used to treat an enlarged prostate. Finding one in a hotel room means a previous guest likely dropped one of their daily pills while getting ready in the morning. You find an old photo of your grandparents from the 1970s. Your grandmother is holding a gift box containing a strange wooden object. It looks like a set of stacked trays that can swing out or fold up. It looks like a sewing box or a tackle box, but for the kitchen. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a swing-away or expandable wooden server tray, a very popular wedding gift in the 1970s, often made by Heller. It is a multi-tiered serving caddy designed for entertaining. The stacked compartments swing out to display different snacks like nuts, cheese, and crackers. When the party is over, it folds back into a compact, self-contained box for storage. It's a classic piece of mid-century modern partyware. You find a long, sharp metal pin in a jewelry lot. It is about 6 to 8 inches long. One end is dangerously sharp, and the other end is broken off or has a simple metal stop. It looks like a tiny spear. It's too long to be a sewing needle. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the pin from a vintage hat pin. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, women wore enormous, elaborate hats that were not secured by elastic. To keep these massive hats from blowing off in the wind, women would drive these long, sharp pins through the hat and into their hair. The decorative head of the pin, often a large glass jewel or an ornate metal design, is missing. It's a relic of Edwardian fashion that doubled as a handy self-defense weapon. What was the weirdest object for you? Let me know in the comments and share this to test your friends. If you love uncovering these mysteries, hit like and subscribe. Your support helps us find more curious explorers like you. Stay curious.